Good afternoon and welcome to Salon Spot Chat. And today we want to talk about all things website. We know that websites have been around for quite some time, but in the beauty industry, specifically with salon, spas, beauty, hairstylists, barbers, we think it is still very important, or the most important tool that you can have. So we wanted you to know that having a website is no longer an option. It's necessary. It's table stakes. It's more important than your appointment book. And one of the reasons why is because it's your 24-hour marketing tool. So today we have, of course, Jon-David, the Mafia hairdresser, and Jackie Bernardi to talk to us about, or to share some insights about websites. So Jon-David, what is it that you think that our beauty industry colleagues should know about websites?
It's your first step in proving that you are a professional. And I'm glad I got to say that, because I think that's just the number one talking point about websites, because, and we'll go into email as well, I'm sure, but websites tell anybody that is following you on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, that you are a real brand. Even if you work for a salon, it is official. It is social media proof, social proof that you exist, because you can click on it. It goes right to your brand, and everything in there is clickable, your website, or even where you work, even if you work at a salon. So every individual should have a website.
And one unique thing about websites is websites allow us to tell our own story. We can control the content, the information that we want to share with our current and prospective employees, potential strategic partners via a website. We rely on social media, we use social media, but the website is the one tool that you can dictate 100% what goes in, and it's up to you to change the website and speak in the tone and manner that you want to communicate. So for example, if we were to create a business page on Facebook, yes, we can control the photos and we can control the content, but website, if we have specific colors, if we have specific logos, if we have specific imagery that we want to share, we can dictate that on our website and use that as a basis for our brand and be able to build that on other platforms. Jackie,
yeah,
what would you like to share about websites?
Oh my gosh, where to start? Jon-David's actually absolutely right about the professionalism, but what I want to say about the importance of service providers having their own website is it doesn't matter if you're an employee of a salon or a spa. And right now, most particularly, I've been thinking about our nail technicians, right? So they work in an environment where there's 30 people, there's walk-ins coming in all the time. What differentiates them from anybody else? Who knows, right? Somebody new moves to town, or they move across town. What are they going to do? They're going to jump on Yelp. They're going to go to all these sites, and they're going to go ahead and see who's out there. And they're going to click through to your website. And if you don't have a website, you're not going to get the business. If you do have a website and it appeals to them, because they have no basis of knowing if you get your job or not, but if your website appeals to them, you'll at least potentially get your seat. And that is really what it's all about, is getting them in your seat. Also supporting them afterwards. And so whether it's hair or skin or nails, if you have a client that you can direct to your website for follow-up care, for follow-up information, that's a brilliant way of staying in touch and really creating a brand for yourself that you are the go-to person. And then word of mouth, of course, takes over.
Yeah.
There are a couple of ways that we can stay in touch with our prospective as well as current clients via our website. We can have what is known in the industry as an opt-in, where you can sign up to receive information from the beauty professional that you're doing business with. You can also allow people to give you testimonials on your website. So when you talked about this reciprocal relationship between the beauty professional and their client, if you trust your clients to talk about you on your website, it's just one more way to have social proof. It's also very important on the website to be very transparent about what you can or cannot do. Again, because you're building you're building credibility for yourself, and it's your first way to build a relationship with a current or potential client and not necessarily have that one-on-one, because I guarantee you, as Jackie said, they are looking for you. And then also we're going to talk about search engine optimization a little bit, but say, for example, you live in Carlsbad, California, and you are a stylist and you've been doing hair for 3 years, there's a way that you can go onto your website and specifically indicate what zip code or what counties or what cities that you operate in via the website. You may not be able to do that on another platform, but you can do that via the website.
And you have control over it because you're doing it. It's your website. So instead of, as we talked about the other Salon Spa chat last week, you don't have to rely on algorithms. You don't have to rely on Facebook. You don't have to rely on the geolocator and Instagram. Your website does it perpetually. And I wanted to add something about when you have your own website, and let's say I work for a salon and I have a website, and my salon that I work at, of course, has a website. Well, they're not going to always list all of my quotes from my clients that I might be able to scrape off of Facebook. So I can house them there. I can also link back to the page I want to link back to at my employer's website, which is probably my personal profile page. I could just direct it back. So as far as search engine optimization, if the individual stylist or facialist has a really nice website and you're building your own personal brand, you're actually building your employer's brand as well, because that search engine optimization, it is your search engine optimizing them as well. You're adding credibility to their website, which helps everybody. It's amazing how short-sighted we are by not having the individual stylist, facialist, massage therapist, nail tech not have their own websites. And we can guide them as owners to do that and how to do it well.
So you bring up an interesting point, Jon-David. I want to get your perspective on this because I've not been a salon owner. And you have, right? So is there a thing? Is there a thing between salon owners wanting you to promote through your own website? Is there a disconnect, or are, largely speaking, are salon owners really behind service providers who do want to create their own brand within the context of working at so-and-so salon? What's your feeling on that? Do you have any information on that?
I do. I have firsthand information. There's no statistics per se, because we just don't do statistics like that in social media or in our industry at all. But what I've come across is I've had salons where up to, and this is up to a few years ago for the few that I know of, they were big salons and they discouraged their employees from doing any kind of social media or having their own salon because they didn't understand social media and how it could help them. So I don't know if those salons have changed over the past year. So there's that third. Then the other third is, yeah, let the stylist do it. We don't know what they're doing. We don't get it. So just, that's fine. If it helps us, yay. And then there's the absolute no's. Those no's are, you know, they try and keep everything to themselves, and they for lack of anything, they don't want to do it. And then, and then the other third is, yes, they do encourage it, but I think they need to go a little farther and train their staff members on social media as well as having their own website. So that way the owner can help them. Maybe it's their own webmaster can help their own stylist to build their website so they can all be similar, but a theme, or actually teach different themes. So each personality of the person come through the website, but it all can direct back to the main salon. And you're not going to keep your staff member or lose your staff member over them building their own website. I mean, that's clear. So I've seen a third of the industry say no, a third say we don't get it, so let our stylists do whatever they want, and then a third maybe embracing it and say, yeah, that's okay, we can't control it. But I feel that if the owner embraces that paradigm, they're building themselves up for success, the salon and the individual, because really the individual is the person doing the service. So really build them up as much as possible.
The salon owner is really required to understand that if they have more touch points, that only builds more credibility for them. Because if Jackie Bernardi is a hot stylist in Carlsbad, the first thing that they ask is, where do you work? So if Jackie has her own website, I can find Jackie Bernardi because I know that she's been featured on Behind the Chair. I'm trying to figure out where she works. So she has her website. She's featured on her salon's website. It only helps build credibility for the salon because it's the same thing for social media. You have Jackie who's doing this amazing job as a beauty professional. People are going to know, where can I contact her? Where can I come and sit with her? So if she is working for a salon, it's just more beneficial to know, because then that gives an opportunity for the salon to do some upsell or cross sell, depending on the type of services that they provide.
So that's a beautiful segue, Missy. And first off, I want to make something really clear. Please do not book an appointment with me to do your hair. You will regret it.
Right.
That's an example.
Aesthetics background. And if you don't believe me, take a look at the post on Facebook yesterday as a child. What?
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, but it was a great segue, because this is a thing universally, this beyond our personal industry, the beauty industry. But to name your website yourown.com or .com, or to come up with a cute name, right? This is a thing. A lot of people are afraid to put their own name on their websites. And others just think that they sound more professional if they have a business name. What are your thoughts on that? I have strong opinions on this, but I'd be interested in knowing what you guys think about this.
Well, I just found out through the .coms, because, we switched SalonSpot.chat.com to SalonSpot.chat, and we've learned a lot about .coms. I think all three of us are experts at .coms now. But what I learned through that is to the right and the left of the dot. So it used to be MafiaHairdresser.com. Google searches and all searches put the same amount of search weight on both sides of the dot. I did not know that. I thought this, the .com part, the right-hand side of the dot didn't mean anything, but it does. So now that we will have .salon and .chat, those have meaning. So I think at the right or the left-hand side of the dot, you can be as creative as you want to be, but you have to have some word in there that tells what you are and what you do. Like .salon, of course, is going to tell you I'm in the salon industry, and you can say très chic. Mafia hairdresser, there's a word hairdresser in there, helpful, and salon is helpful. So it really tells you what industry. So instead of being just so cutesy, you can be as creative as you want to the left of the dot, but to the right of the dot, you can use the .coms to help people know who you are.
Jackie, I believe that if you can purchase your name and it has not been taken up, you absolutely should get it. We believe that it's more professional, or there may be some belief, I think maybe 5-6 years ago, that it's more professional to have a business name, but you are essentially trying to build two brands. So if the name of my salon is Nappy Heads by Jennifer Ellis Jackson, then that's two names. So who is Jennifer Ellis Jackson? Who is Nappy Heads? Essentially, people do business with you way before they do business with the name of your company. So I believe that it is easier to have one brand. And then if you can build another brand, once you've developed credibility for one brand, then that makes sense. It's just a lot of time and resources to have multiple brands. So I think if you're new, if you're seasoned, if your name is available, I absolutely believe that you should do it. Because as Jon-David said, you can include hairstylist, hairdresser, makeup artist, whatever in your title, and that way you're covered.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And I'll add to that, and then I'm going to point to Jackie because she said always has great sound bites on that. But now with the new .coms, you can get your name. The availability is so much easier. It's just so much easier. You can get Jon-David.salon. Go ahead, go for it, people. I'm not going to use it. Use it. It's there. And with that said, because .coms, forget it, you never get your name. But now with the new .coms, and you can go to name.kitchen and find yours. It's a great thing, and then you just click and you just get it from GoDaddy or Google Names or wherever you want your own web host or register. But Jackie, you said something last week that was so interesting. You said every individual stylist, service provider, facialist, massage therapist, nail technician, even if they work for somebody, you consider them a brand. That's right?
I do. Because a salon owner can hire 10 stylists, right? And they can have classes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they can teach technique till they're blue in the face. But every single one of those service providers are going to put that technique out in the world with their own unique spin. So the very fact that they are creative individuals already predisposed that their work will be different no matter how they've been trained. A Sassoon cut is a Sassoon cut is a Sassoon cut, and every single Sassoon trained stylist does it differently, right? The ultimate look will be different. So inherently, what we do as creatives in a very creative industry predisposes that we actually are our own brand because of our final output, right? Final output is always going to be Jackie's hair, which it should never be.
Yeah,
right? So this is why I so strongly feel that that really, and especially now, there's absolutely no reason why every single person in this industry should not have their own name dot something. Okay.
Yeah,
now,
right.
A couple of years ago, if they couldn't get the .com and they couldn't get the .net, that was it, because nobody's going to look for a hairstylist or an esthetician with a .org, right? But the thing that I find interesting, Jon-David, about what you were saying was like, word of mouth goes around, and Jennifer was saying word of mouth goes around, and they talk about, Jenny Smith over at, the salon down the street. Person's going to go and Google Jenny Smith. They're not going to go Google the salon down the street unless they have the name of the salon down the street, right? So this is why I'm saying, even if you don't develop your website as your own name dot whatever, at least buy your own name dot whatever, so you can make that choice later. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like part of our business is dealing in the here and now. But if you really want to excel in any business, you've got to plan for the future and plan for what you might need. I own, I think, 19 or 20 domains now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are variations of Jackie Bernardi, right? I've got a funny story to tell. A lot of them are variations of Jackie Bernardi, but a lot of them are program ideas that I have, specific books that I have in mind that I may title the book that domain. But for sure, when that book comes out, if I did title it that, I want to be sure that I already own the domain. So that
and it's so inexpensive for a monthly or yearly fee.
That's exactly right. It's insurance for your reputation, and I can't say that enough. It's insurance for your reputation. It's pre-planning, and frankly, it's smart business.
It is smart business. And nowadays, the new thing I just discovered, I use Insightly. .com to record all my client information and keep my client records. So it's in the cloud, it's there, it's accessible on my phone, it's accessible on my iPad, my salon. And I love it because I can shoot out emails to my customers via Insightly. Well, a couple weeks ago, it would not allow me to send emails to my customers unless my email was attached to my website.
Oh, that's a whole Gmail thing. This just came out in the news. Yeah, this is happening universally now. If your Gmail, if you're using Gmail with your autoresponder, okay, your people are not going to get it.
Done.
It's going to go to spam.
It goes to spam. So now I've been so lazy about it. I never use Jon-David at mafiahairdresser.com, which is going away anyway, because now mafiahairdresser.com is going to be .salon. So now I get to wipe the slate clean, and it'll be Jon-David at mafiahairdresser.salon, which will be great. I mean, that'd be awesome. But yes, go ahead.
I do have a question about that. Are you actually getting rid of mafiahairdresser.com, or are you going to create a redirect for it?
The redirect will actually be mafiahairdresser.com. That will redirect to mafiahairdresser.com.
Okay, good. So you're not actually getting rid of mafiahairdresser.com.
Right. So when
you're
we're
just not going to be using it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are launching, we get to officially launch on the next Salon Spa Chat next week on the 9th, the new .com.salon. We're going to be toasting, yay for that, and talking about that. But one thing that we should bring out, since we brought it up, is, you keep your .com. When you do a .com, you keep your .com if you've already been branded, so you don't have to mess up your old marketing, and you can layer in telling your new customers or future customers or your past customers, no, we're now a .salon, but you don't have to worry about your marketing, and you always want to keep your .com. Super important.
Absolutely.
One thing I want to highlight is that I hear a lot of people say, or a lot of stylists or beauty professionals indicate that they don't have time or the knowledge to make a website. If this were 2005 or even 2008, I would be able to sympathize with you, because there are so many tools, so many templates where you can drag and drop and literally create a site in 2 hours when fifth graders can do it. We as beauty professionals require to spend the time or hire resources to be able to get these sites done. It's not a very difficult or it's an extremely cost-effective undertaking that is as essential as having a good pair of cutting shears or having your makeup kit. It's absolutely necessary. So you could get a site like Squarespace, for example, or so many sites. I wouldn't recommend this, but so many sites allow you to create a free site. Now, you don't own the domain, but you are still able to have a site. And so that today, there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. And even last point, even having an email address outside of Gmail, that comes a lot of times when you buy your domain. I'm talking, you can get going with a website tomorrow, even today, less than $75 to $100 out the door, doing it yourself.
Yeah, it's a good investment. And the other thing we need to bring about websites that I think is so important is collecting emails. Email is just so important to collect on your website. You can have a pop-up that pops up and says, hey, I'm going to give you my free haircut tutorial link, or sign up for my monthly newsletter because I'm going to tell you my salon specials. And that's even if you are working in another salon. You can do that. Collect your clients' emails. You want as many people's information as you can, so that way you can send out monthly tickles to them. Is there a crazy click thing? Oh, there's a click.
Somebody's mic is.
Is there a mic or something down here below?
I'm not sure, because mine is not.
What's that click? There's another click. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's down here. Wherever someone's
I'm doing
speaker
this. This is mine, and I'm moving it all around, no sound, so it's not mine.
Yeah, I don't know where's your microphone, Jennifer?
It's on the desk. See?
Oh yeah. So just maybe if you're clicking near that might be, if you're on your keyboard maybe, and it's because it's might be picking that up. Oh, that's a great microphone though.
No, you're not calling anybody out, Tish. I heard it, or I wrote in the comments earlier that I heard it too. So you're not calling it.
We all heard it. Yeah. Yeah, email retrieval is super important. And even mafiahairdresser.com right now, because I've been switching it over, that's kind of off right now, but I've been telling people, sign up for my email list and you're getting my new Snapchat book. So I'm getting flooded with new email signups this weekly just by verbally telling people, go to my website, click on that, and sign up for my email list, which is targeted hairdressers, because our constituency is salon owners, and beauty professionals. So we want your email address so we can send you our knowledge, so we can send you what we know. But if you're a hairdresser, you want to send them new product knowledge, or what's coming up in your salon, or links to your salon pages, links to your Instagram pages to get them talking to you on Instagram and so forth. And those you can do monthly, and that's a very, very easy thing to do.
And I want to bring up something really practically about why you want to collect your clients' email addresses and have the ability for them to give you their email addresses organically through your website. And that is, and because this is so controversial in the industry, I almost hate bringing it up, but at some point you're going to leave wherever you are working now. It's going to happen unless you have already established yourself as an independent or a big.
And salons don't last forever.
That's right. And you work very, very hard to collect your book of business. But there's a real argument that it's not your book of business and that it's the salon's book of business. And so to avoid that whole messy, how do you get your clients before you leave? Have a website, have the ability to collect their contact information so that when you do leave, you do have the ability to contact your clientele, right? It's just a practical matter. I hate to always be the voice of like doom and gloom, but again, this much of your business is what you're doing right now. This much of your business should be planning for the future, right? Because that's how you'll get to where you want to get. And so this is an important piece of that, is protecting yourself by protecting the clientele that you've worked so hard to build up.
And too often we rely exclusively on our telephone. And while great, we have our information, we have our data in the cloud. I hope we're not a stylist who changes numbers or a beauty professional that changes numbers every 90 days and you lose those numbers. But we just need to be able to have as many data points about our current clients as we possibly can. Because what if you have, heaven forbid, what if you have a client that doesn't text or who doesn't check their voicemail? You need to be able to get in touch with them, and email pretty much is consistent. A lot of people don't change their emails like they do their telephone numbers. So that's something to consider.
Yeah. And don't use numbers in your website too. That's just, that was something that, you know, when you see a Twitter handle and it's got Julie 0275444 or website Julie 075522444, it's like, no, that makes you look like a spammer. So just to throw that in there.
Actually, it does make it. You're absolutely right, and your messages will just go right in the mail. I mean, in the you know what I'm saying? That other thing called the garbage can.
Yeah, in the garbage can. So
I wanted to bring up one quick point that there's a intersection between businesses having sites and the professionals in the advertising industry. So I could be a creative director or I could be an account person. I have my own professional website to show that I worked on this client and this is the book of business that I created. There's no different from a stylist. Every creative person, every creative director, every graphic artist, they can work at a specific company, but they still have a dedicated website to show the work that they did. Now the client belongs to the company, but because they worked on that specific account and did this specific business or creative stuff for this client, they own that. They're able to take that and market that when they look for their next role. So it's no different from a beauty professional.
You're absolutely right. And for goodness sake, let's not rely on our LinkedIn profile to do that job. Because as Jennifer was saying, it's so inexpensive and so easy. Believe me, if I can put together a website, anybody who's watching can put together a website, right? It's simple. There's templates for it. But you're absolutely right, Jennifer. It's a great way to just brand yourself and show the work that you've accomplished.
Yeah, you should have a gallery page, clickable website to your employer's website, clickable link to your employer's website, a clickable link with a Google map that will go open up your address to where you work, opens up so people can geolocate you because they're on their phone looking for you on the way to you, and they found you through the website, and then they click and they're using their Google Maps to find you, and a clickable telephone number where they can make an appointment, and it can be Style Seat or whatever, but it comes from your website where that's all your information. And of course, your website link goes everywhere. It goes on your Twitter profile. It goes on your LinkedIn profile. It goes everywhere, which is clickable, opens up, and then people can dig deeper. So those are the main things. Show your work and show your hours, where you work, and your phone number. Those are the main things, why you're special. and quotes from your clients. Those are great too.
And I think they should have some way, in addition to your telephone number, a way to contact you. So it's very simple to have a contact form, of course, linked to your social media. If you're on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are, YouTube, definitely have those social media buttons or some type of links on your website. Because again, that's more social proof, because it just shows that you as a brand, how you are marketing yourself on various platforms.
Exactly.
Yeah, excellent idea. Yep. All good. Good.
One other point, I would ask you to choose 1 or 2 social media platforms that you want to own. We can't be experts at all of them because we just can't. So whichever ones make more sense for you. I know everybody says, oh, all stylists have to be on Instagram. I agree. But what's your next one? It may or may not be Facebook. It may be Snapchat. It may be Twitter. So just figure out where your people are going to be, or where you want to make a name for yourself, or draw a stake in the ground.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I want to add one thing to that, Jennifer, is that where you're at may not be where your clients are at, right? So exactly what Jennifer's saying, but a little twist on it is that you've really got to look at your clientele. Now, if they're all, middle-aged people like me, right, and on up, probably they're not on Snapchat. Even though you are and you're spending a lot of time there, it's maybe better to reach out to them on Facebook or where they are hanging out. So really be conscious of where your audience is hanging out. And for business sake, get really good at those platforms. If you want to use the other ones for your own stuff and just maybe to develop a different clientele or whatever, awesome. But where you should be hanging out in terms of building business is where your clients are hanging out, not necessarily where you are. So Good
tips. And of course, we'll keep on telling you this good stuff at salonspa.chat. And keep on watching us, please, because we will help you for free. Yeah. All right, we're done, yeah? Jennifer, anything else to add, my dear?
No, nothing else to add.
All right. Well, I thank you guys so much. Again, it's always great to talk to you guys because we bring up so much good information, and we're going to use this. And on playback, Mafia Hairdresser Salon Spa Chat playlist, which is awesome. It gives us all free information because I've even went back and watched some, and I've just made some great notes and good stuff. So thank you all, and we can stop recording.